Architectural Builder Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
36-inch door, a couple of them actually.
Okay. All right.
I was looking through your website, but I'm having a hard time finding it right on the website. Are there any units you recommend for residential use?
Yeah, I do. Are you going to surface mount this, or are you going to mortise it to the bottom of the door?
We're doing a remodel, so I was hoping to mortise it, keep it clean looking as possible.
So you want to mortise it? Okay. Well, that's good. Oh, let's take a look. So the model that I would recommend is the part number is 411M, as in Mike, dash 36 dash AL.
Okay. It says a PDB, acoustic automatic door bottom, EPDM, 36-inch length. Okay.
Yeah. So the downside is you can spend less money. That's to be sure. The upside is I happen to know automatic door bottoms intimately, and the guy behind this one has no rival in the industry, is the bottom line. Is this the one that I would use personally? Possibly. It would be this or one other, and it would depend on what I was trying to do. If a STC, if I needed a higher STC, the only reason I wouldn't use this is if I needed a higher STC rating, which, you know, if you have children practicing drums in the basement, you know, that kind of thing, I might look for something with a higher STC rating, but that would beg other problems. But overall, there isn't a single door bottom that can go toe-to-toe with everything this does in every single department.
So this is better than like the Pemcos and the Zeros and all that?
So in regards to Pemco, absolutely. In regards to Zero would be the one I would use when I needed a higher STC rating. The reason I wouldn't use the Zero in lieu of this, likely for your application, is because the Zero item is so much more massive in size. It's a much larger contraption that requires more force to close the door, that gives off a greater amount of acoustical energy when it's operating. When it's actuating, you can hear it more than you can hear this. So that, you know, that's how I answer that question without deviating much further.
Gotcha. Okay. So I live in Texas. I don't really have like a... Sorry, go ahead.
This guy is the guy behind the Pemco STC 411. So Pemco leased this technology from this gentleman. So this is kind of the original thinking on the Pemco, you know, 411, their STC 411. And if you notice, the part number is
it's 411
almost
as well.
The same. Yeah, because it's this guy's part number.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. I guess my second question.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I like to look at this one, and this is about the price I was figuring. I watched one of your videos where you talk about the Pemco versus the Zero and all that. But I think that was for like a nuclear power plant or something like that. But what I was wondering is there anything like this for pocket doors, or is it not really recommended for pocket doors as much, or?
And that's one of the great things about this PDB. It will work on a sliding door as well as a swinging door because of how it operates. So in the world of most other manufacturers, you must get a different automatic door bottom in order for it to work on a sliding door. This will not only tolerate a sliding door, but it will tolerate uneven floor conditions on swinging doors as well. This drops uniformly, which is what you need for a sliding door, and is therefore
Gotcha.
extremely elegant.
Cool. All right. Right on. All right. I guess my last question is, do you ship to Texas?
We love Texas. If I didn't live in Florida, I would consider living in Texas. It's a can-do attitude over there.
It's got its ups and downs, but yeah, it's not too bad. Right on. Cool. All right. Well, I think that's all the information I need. So this will work this will work equally as well for an external door and an internal door. This is just your general recommendation for all the doors you got for a residential home.
Yeah, well, if you look for the highest average score all around for all points, this has the highest score on average all around. If you're talking something specific, like if there's a specific requirement, it's likely. So if you feel that someone is going to try to, if this is an exterior door and you routinely are going to have horizontal water hitting the door, if you're going to have a situation where, again, you have a higher requirement of STC rating, if your budget constraint is such that XXX, I would make a different product recommendation. But overall, this is the heavyweight champ in a welterweight size. Right.
I got you. So like non-commercial sort of situation, this is sort of the best deal.
Absolutely. We just sent about 12 of these up to a historic bed and breakfast up in New York, and they just loved them. Right
on. I don't need a super high STC rating for the pocket doors. I would actually, it'd be kind of nice to save a little bit of cash there. Is there like a more budget-friendly version that you recommend, just so I can check it out?
Not really, in the sense that you'll have to order a variant of someone else's unit so that they can make it so that it drops evenly like this does standard. And the other reason that you might just want to standardize is because the person who's going to route these doors has one setup rather than two.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because any other bottom would require a different channel, different size channel.
Gotcha. So just need one router bit, one jig, be done with it. Okay.
Well,
cool.
Yeah,
All right.
One setup. You don't have to, reposition something, et cetera.
Oh, I almost forgot. Yeah, actually, that was my last question. As far as like the jig for setting these up goes, do you guys sell that, or is that like something you purchase from the manufacturer separately, or do you just kind of ask your contractor to make it on site? Yeah,
the third option is generally what happens. So there is a tool called a stylizer that I would think most door shops own, and it will do this job. That tool is hundreds of dollars, and really all you need is an angle bracket attached to your router base, set up on the proper center line. Now, this is not going to be the work that a rough carpenter will do, a guy who frames houses. So you'll need the right person, but to the right person, this will be reasonably obvious as to how it needs to be done. And if it's not immediately reasonably obvious, that person and I will hop on the phone. I've done this countless times over the decades.
Gotcha.
I can talk them through it, tell them how I would do it if I didn't have the tool.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a little woodworking, and I've watched a few videos on these, and I think I saw, a jig with a standard, plunge router, and they use some like acrylic as their sort of jig. Now, I guess my question is, I know, the door is like 1 3/8. I think this mortise is usually like an inch wide, right? Or roughly in there.
Yeah, this one's going to be less than that, and this one's less than that. I like this one better because it's a smaller channel that you'll route. I would probably put a caliper on it when you received it and decided what the best way to go. We're coming up with about just heavy on 9/16 for the width of the channel. I would probably be looking for a 5/8 2-flute carbide router bit is probably what I'd be looking for to do this.
Yeah, that makes sense. Less burn, less chip out. And I guess when you're installing it, you obviously want to get it as centered as possible, but if it's not like perfectly centered on the door, this thing still works, right? As long as you set up the pin to hit in the right spot and all that.
Yeah, it's not unusual to offset automatic door bottoms for different reasons. One reason would be you have an exceptionally thick door and you have center hung pivots, so you've got to bias it towards one side. Plus, I like biasing it when you have those applications towards the outside. Put your line of defense as close to the outside as possible.
Right. Okay, cool. And what are the disadvantages of automatic door bottoms, especially say on like an external door? Like I'm guessing there's a little bit of trickery having to get all the weather stripping to line up to make sure the door's fully sealed and all that, or does it pretty much take care of itself?
These are the direct answer to the question is in 10 years, if a replacement of a seal is necessary, which we do stock or will be stocking that seal soon, is that the homeowner doesn't do the maintenance. I supplied material to a cousin of mine. This was an automatic door bottom was one of it years ago, and I'm like, the stuff's like 60 cents a foot. If you tell me you need the neoprene, I'll bring it to you, and it's rendered ineffective. But other than that, this is literally set it and forget it. This material gets installed in the top tier type of volume of people. Think epic theme parks. They're grand hotels. This is where that stuff goes. So the volume is continuous. The only drawback is they get neglected over time. And if I was going to be technical, over 32 plus years, I've had 2 people complain to me that automatic door bottoms were patently, unacceptably noisy, and I had never thought about it until I listened to one, and I thought, oh, that does give off sound. This is quite muted for what it is. And yeah, the one client just like walked into the shop and threw it on the counter and left. It's too loud. Okay. I mean, so was
I must have been living in an echo chamber. I mean, you close the door and it makes sound, though. I mean, this isn't that overbearing, right? I mean, like, doors make sounds when you close them regardless. This isn't like a drum hit. It's not like clanging shut or anything, is it?
No, not even remotely close. And I tried to explain to the client the benefits far outweigh any minor imagined inconvenience that you're experiencing. So. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was just hoping to get that like smooth transition into the house because we bought some doors and I noticed the thresholds on them, like they come with these thick aluminum thresholds, and it's just like, man, that's. And the older doors had those like kind of slim thresholds that bolt into the floor, sort of deal. And so I was just like, man, that's like a big step up. It's a big lift. We have an older house, so it wasn't designed for that giant aluminum threshold. So there's going to be a gap between the concrete and that. So I think I'm going to go with this solution. All right. I think I got all the info I need. I appreciate your recommendation. I'm gonna talk to the wife about this and see what she thinks, see what she wants to do. But I think this is going to be a winner.
Any other questions on it, please feel free to reach out.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.